So for this next section of the assignment, we're going to do a little bit of inventory on where we're at currently. If we've been following around, I've shown you how to how to decimate your object and lower the poly count to a more manageable poly number. And that number is anything under 100,000 polys. Here, when you hover over an object, you'll see to the left of my cursor here, you'll see the polys equal 96,112, the points at 48,000. So we go through and we check. If you want to, you can isolate each of the object, press Shift F, and just find out, okay, are all of these objects decimated? This one, it doesn't need to be decimated. It was running into some issues. We're just going to leave it right here. I already applied the UVs to that, so it's working great. We have our decimated objects. Everything is prepped and ready from the poly count point of view. And then we went into our transpose master tool that's located within the Z plugin. And we created a transpose mesh and then used our UV master plugin to unwrap our object with polygroups turned on. So right now, where we're sitting is on our main subtool. All of these objects have been decimated and have had UVs applied to them, auto UVs. Now, with everything visible, I'm going to make sure everything's visible. And if you ever want to make everything visible, you just hold Shift and click one of the eyes and it'll hide all or expose all. So with everything visible, we're going to look at one new plugin. This plugin, and the Z plugin menu, I just drag and drop it over here, is right towards the middle of the pack. It is FBX export and import. Click it, and there's a few options here. You can export just your selected subtool as an FBX, export all of the visible subtools as an FBX, or you could just go ahead and export all subtools as an FBX. I like to get into the habit of exporting the visible ones. That way I can still have, if I'm working this way, my working meshes still saved within the greater Z tool folder or the Z tool file. Okay, we have all of our objects decimated. They're all UV'd. We are going to export visible. So I click this. It's going to bring up a window. We'll call this Chaos Eater Demo 01. Obviously, you don't need to call it Chaos Eater Demo. Just call it whatever it works. But we're going to name it 01 just so we know what we're doing. I saved it to my desktop and click. It's going to think for a little bit, export the objects, and then it'll give you a notice when it's done right there that says File Exported. And that should be our whole process on exporting to FBX. Now, before we go and bring this file into Substance Painter, we need to assign materials. I'm going to pause right here and open up Maya, load up this tool within Maya, and then assign a general material. So hang with me as I pause the video, and I'll see you back in Maya here in a second. Okay, so here we are back in Autodesk Maya, our old friend, and we're going to import that file that we just exported out of ZBrush. So go up here to File, where it says Import, click that button, navigate to our Chaos Eater Demo _01 file, and import right here on the bottom right, and it'll load in. Now this is a higher poly count object, so it may take a little bit of time to load. So just be a little patient with the software while it does that. But now here we are. And the first thing you're going to notice is the object is going to be all blindingly white. And that is expected. So just click everything here, or click and drag with your left mouse button, and then hold your right mouse button and then go to Add or Assign Favorite Material. The material we're going to use is called Lambert, and we'll just go ahead and call this Lambert M underscore chaos eater enter. Now, our whole object, I'm just going to darken it so it's not blindingly white anymore. Darken the color attribute there, and then we'll close that off. And as you see here, no longer white, a nice bland gray. And the other thing you're going to notice, this object is quite small. So if you will, I'm going to plug in my mouse here and show you that the object is much smaller than you'd expect. So this is us at, I believe each square represents, I think, 10 meters to start or 10 centimeters to start. And if you zoom out, this thing is damn near microscopic. So let's click and drag the whole object, go here to our outliner, press Control and G to put them into a group. And now that all of the objects are grouped, we can press our E hotkey, our R hotkey to bring up the scale manipulator. And let's just scale it and get a little bit more size to this thing. Something like about so. I'm not even going to tell you a number, but let's just make it about as big as 2 of these squares here. Sound okay? Very good. So this will be our size roughly, and we will take this now that we've assigned a material, we've changed the scale, we will export this object as an FBX, and this will be what we load into Substance Painter on the next video. All right, see you there.